Okay, so Michigan turned it over a lot on Saturday against Bowling Green, and that game didn't turn into a blowout. And the question, well, they won comfortably, but they don't look like they're firing on all cylinders. I will tell you, I've kind of spitballed some ideas on what's wrong with Michigan. There's kind of a few possibilities. If there's anything, in quotes, wrong with them, they're 3-0, and they've won comfortably all 3 games, but they don't quite seem to be operating at this high level of efficiency offensively as they were at the end of last year. But the possibilities are A, they just aren't as good this year. B, they might be a little bit bored by the schedule. And C, and this is something that I'm starting to buy into a little bit more, and that they actually do miss Harbaugh. This week, he has tried to downplay his return. He has kept saying, it's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about me. The more I talk to players, the more I think they are fired up to have him back. Yesterday, Keon Sabb, and this is something we'll talk about on the broadcast this weekend, he said, when Jim Harbaugh is there, you know Jim Harbaugh is there. And other players said that he sets the tone. He sets the tone in the locker room. He sets the tone at halftime. And everybody said, no disrespect to the guys that were filling in, but they are looking forward to having their coach back.
Well, yeah, because it's not game day without the head coach. I mean, you could have a Muskox coach this team for the first 3 weeks, and they'd still go 3-0 and handily. I went Muskox.
This is Gator has broken some new territory here. Muskox?
Muskox, yeah. You could add one of those.
Can I ask why? Is that just what popped into that brain of yours?
It did, and I'm not sure why it did. I used to be, when I was in elementary school, there were a couple things that I was really interested in. One were birds of prey like vultures, condors, buzzards, which were all basically the same thing. And the other were animals of the Arctic.
Okay.
So muskoxen was all right. We're a group of animals.
Well, now.
Anyway, so they could add a muskox, coach that team for 3 weeks, and it'd still go 3-0. But it's not the same game day experience as when you have the man in the khakis on the sideline. It does make a difference because it's just not game day without him. It's also hard to really get into the first 3 games when you're taking on the opposition that you're taking on. So I do think there's some fatigue with that. Like, let's just get it on, get over with. Here we go. We're excited to play Rutgers. It's Big Ten season. Rutgers actually doesn't look like they're, the typical doormat that they are. Maybe they got a little bit of a life. It could provide something interesting here. Let's get excited. Let's start going for it. And, Harbaugh's there. I mean, Harbaugh's been there the whole time. He just hasn't been on the sideline.
He hasn't been there in game day.
Game day.
He seems rejuvenated by this suspension, like he's really, really missed it and can't wait to be back. Rutgers has played Michigan tough 7 of the last 8 quarters. Michigan needed a late fumble to secure the win at the Big House 2 years ago. They were trailing at the half last year, and then probably 6 of the last 8 quarters because Michigan dominated that second half. But Rutgers has given, how some teams just for some reason give you problems? Rutgers has made Michigan work to get those wins. And this year, they're really running the football. Gavin Wimsatt is a quarterback that they highly recruited and thought. So, it's not a typical walkover Rutgers team, but they should win. And the question is, do they start looking like their old selves on Saturday? Or is this going to be Michigan this whole season?
Oh, I would expect them to look more like their old selves. They've got the head coach back, and it'll be a different game plan. You've got more to put in this week than what you needed to the first 3 weeks. That's the other thing is because the opposition. I mean, you don't have to go too deep into the playbook to get stuff. I get that they did have the flea flicker, but I don't think the flea flicker is on like page 74.
Well, as you and I said last week, they haven't spent a whole lot of time game planning for an opponent. They're probably game planning a little bit more this week.
Yeah.
Into league play and,
and I'm sorry. And as you said, Rutgers is a team that has given them some issues. I mean, they've won the games, but that they've had to work for it, so they know they're going to have to work.
They had 2 years ago. Michigan had a playoff team. Rutgers had the ball in the fourth quarter with a chance to take the lead late. And Michigan forced a fumble again. So
they've come a long way. It helps that they got their coach back.
Yeah.
When they went away from him for a little bit. It's been a long time since the Michigan threw the 77 tiramisu on them.
Yeah, whatever it was.